Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take a trip down memory lane and revisit the golden age of video games, the 80s. It was a time when mullets, neon colors, and leg warmers ruled the world, and video games were the hottest thing since sliced bread. In 1980, a game called Pac-Man hit the scene and gobbled up the competition with over 300,000 units sold. At a price of $24.95 a pop, it was a steal for hours of entertainment. Who knew that a yellow circle with a mouth could become a cultural icon? The following year, we saw the release of Donkey Kong, which sold over 1 million units and introduced us to the barrel-throwing, tie-wearing gorilla that we all know and love. But let's be real, the real star of the game was Mario, who went on to have his own successful franchise. In 1982, the world was introduced to E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial, and it was a disaster. Not even the adorable alien with a glowing finger could save this game from being a colossal failure. Over 3.5 million copies were produced, but only 1.5 million were sold. That's a lot of unsold cartridges buried in the desert. But fear not, because 1983 brought us the one and only Mario Brothers. This game not only sold over 2 million copies, but it also introduced us to Luigi, the other half of the iconic plumber duo. Who knew that jumping on turtles and collecting coins could be so addicting? The following year, we saw the birth of a legend, The Legend of Zelda, to be exact. This game sold over 6 million copies and took players on an epic adventure to save Princess Zelda. And let's not forget about the memorable music that's still stuck in our heads to this day. 1985 was the year that changed everything. It was the year that a little game called Super Mario Bros. Was released, and it became an instant classic. Over 40 million copies were sold, making it the best-selling video game of all time until it was dethroned by a certain blocky game we won't mention. In 1986, we were introduced to Metroid, a game that challenged players to explore a vast alien world and defeat the Mother Brain. It sold over 2 million copies and was the first game to feature a female protagonist, the badass bounty hunter, Samus Aran. The following year, we saw the release of Mega Man, a game that took platforming to a whole new level. With over 1.5 million copies sold, it became one of the most beloved franchises in gaming history. In 1988, we were treated to the one and only Sonic the Hedgehog. This speedy blue blur sold over 15 million copies and became the mascot of Sega. And let's not forget about that iconic Green Hill Zone music. Last but not least, in 1989, we saw the release of the one and only Tetris. This game has sold over 495 million copies and is still played to this day. Who knew that arranging falling blocks could be so satisfying? And there you have it, folks. The top-selling video games of the 80s. From Pac-Man to Tetris, these games will forever hold a special place in our hearts and in the history of gaming. Until next time, keep on gaming and may the high score be with you.